Everything that he ever said about himself was true. When Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life, he who believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live, it meant that Jesus actually was telling the truth. He really is the resurrection and the life. When Jesus said, the Father has entrusted all judgment to me, he was telling the truth. One day, everybody will rise and stand before Jesus, and he will judge all of them. Jesus was telling the truth when he said, before Abraham was, I am. And Jesus was telling the truth when he said that I have come that they may have life and they may have it abundantly. And Jesus was telling the truth when he said in John 14:6, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. He was telling the truth. Jesus is the only way that a person can get to the Father. At this point, we have to ask this question. Are the religious leaders then finally ready to confess their sin and put their faith in Jesus Christ? They're not. Why not? Not because of lack of evidence, but because they want to call the shots in their life. Early on in my ministry here, when we would gather together like this morning on an Easter Sunday, I would think that one of my jobs is to convince you that Jesus rose from the dead because of all the evidence that's available to you. I would want you to see so that you could be compelled by the evidence and see, in fact, Jesus has been raised from the dead, hoping and praying that you will therefore put your faith in Jesus Christ. Here's what I've come to realize as I talk to people, and it comes out when they drop their guard, when you're just maybe just casually having an honest conversation. This is what I have come to see. Unbelievers know that Jesus is the Son of God. They know, not all of them, but many of them, they know that he died on the cross for their sins. They know that he did rise again on the third day, but they still will not put their faith in him. It is not for a lack of evidence. It's because they want to call the shots. And they know if they would surrender to Jesus Christ, they would have to live according to the commands found in his word. And from one sense, I think they're right. The resurrection of Christ tells us that we have to follow everything. People realize, if this is true, I can't live any way I want. So while people know it's true, they still will not put their faith in Christ. I have to ask you, have you put your faith in Christ? Have you put your faith in the Messiah who died on the cross for your sin? Have you put your faith in Christ who rose again on the third day? The ultimate vindication by his Father, showing that everything he said was true and demonstrating that God accepted his sacrifice of sin on your behalf. Have you put your faith in Christ